at the moment that Charlie Kirk was assassinated and everyone went silent on the Epstein files, I began speaking up and telling my story publicly on social media, and I had family on my social media page, including my mother and father, who were already aware of my story and had been aware of my story since 2010. If you have read of Ashes and Embers, Exploring Self-Awareness After Spiritual Trauma, then you know that my SA happened in a church, and it was my pastor who did my SA, and my parents were made aware of this after within a week after the occurrence, because I left the church, and it was a very demanding, authoritative church, and you just didn't leave one of those churches without being reprimanded for it. And I was approached by my father in concern of the fact that I had started attending another church, and that it was not the church where God had intended for me to go. And he put pressure on me about his concern for me, and so I informed him of what had transpired, and he became very offended and gasped, and how dare you say that about a man of God who prays over your soul. And I ended up obviously attending a different church, and they remained at the one that I accused the pastor at for the next 5 years. So any of you who may have read that book would already be aware of this situation, and they were very aware of the fact that I had been through that. So now they were having to hear my firsthand account of it emotionally, and it made them very uncomfortable. I started noticing that my mother was backing away from texting my phone. She was whenever I would call, it would be a shorter conversation. These were things that I could tell were bothersome, but this was my story, and I have the right to tell what has happened